We love video games, or at least we used to. And if you clicked on this video, there's a part of you that believes that as well. We used to obsess over video games, playing for hours and hours on end, and now we stare at a library full of games and just go do something else, or play the same comfort games we've been playing for a long time now. There's a feeling of sadness, longing, and almost fear. Has life really caught up to us so suddenly? Or are we too old to get the appeal of video games anymore? Have we outgrown video games? Let me tell you a story. It was 2013, I was walking to school, tired and with heavy, baggy eyes, but I had a huge smile on my face. That night, me and a friend had reached Global Offensive rank in CSGO, the highest rank you could achieve at that time. I had just turned 16, and I thought, this was it. This is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Not for money, not professionally, just playing games with my friends, grinding for hours and hours and competing to reach the top, or maybe opening up a private Minecraft server to mess around for a few weeks. Or maybe play that new RPG for hours on end, figuring out its story and mechanics, min-maxing every stat and every piece of gear. It is now 2026. I'm almost 30 years old now, and after a hard day of work, I sit down on my computer and open up Steam to buy a game that was blowing up on social media. Mugenics. Mugenics is a tactical RPG with roguelike elements. Two of my favorite genres growing up. I played it for an hour or two and thought, yay, that was pretty cool. I'll get back to it tomorrow. I never opened Mugenics again. And I hated myself for it. I was watching other people on YouTube having a blast with it, attempting challenge runs, speed runs, and I couldn't bring myself to play it. Every time I thought about launching it again, felt exhausting. Maybe if I watch one more video, maybe I'll be inspired to try it again, but I never did. And that's when I realized, it's not just Mugenics. I have an entire library of games I've bought in the last year that I've barely touched. And I kept buying and buying video games thinking, this will be it. This one will definitely hook me like the old days. But then I would open up a game, play for a few minutes, and I get this feeling, or rather a lack thereof. I just didn't feel the same way I used to when playing a video game. In contrast, I start to feel anxious, thinking that it was a waste of time, that I should try another game now, since this one just isn't it. This happened over and over again. Are video games just bad and boring now? Or is it a me problem? I thought about this for a while and came to a realization. I didn't outgrow video games, I outgrew myself. How could I enjoy a video game like the Naren from the past used to if I'm not that Naren anymore? I live by myself now, I went to college and I have a career and a job in healthcare that demands a lot of time, attention, and a lot of responsibilities. And so I asked myself, how can 2026 Naren, with his limited time and ever-increasing worries, enjoy gaming again? How would I find the time to grind away at a game to be able to be competitive, or hell, even finish it on time, to be able to play the next game that's coming up in 2 weeks? And the answer is, I won't. Finally, after years of fighting against my own life and my own schedule, I realized that the industry wasn't the problem. It was my inability to adapt to myself and who I am right now. I'm not a gamer and then a doctor, a boyfriend, a friend, and a son. That might have been true 10 years ago, but indeed, life has caught up with me, the same way it does for all adults eventually. I had forgotten that gaming was supposed to be a hobby, By definition, a hobby is a regular activity pursued in your free time for pleasure, relaxation, and or personal growth. Think about a hobby most of us have, like listening to music. Most of us don't feel pressured to listen to music every day to be caught up in the latest trends and songs that come out every single day, or to feel that we still like music like we used to 15 years ago. We listen to music whenever we feel like it, whenever we need its power to make us feel all sorts of emotions. And there's nothing wrong in coming back to those old songs we still love just to get away from all the new and trendy sounds. Video games can be enjoyed the same way music can. I understood this a few months ago after doom scrolling the Nintendo store for something to play. A game I've heard of before but never got around to play it, like usual, popped up. Digimon World Next Order. I was a huge fan of the Digimon World games on the PS1 when I was a kid, and this one was a sort of remaster/remake of the first one. And even though I had just bought Resident Evil 9 last week, because all of the internet was telling me that it was the best game to have ever been created in the history of mankind, I bought the Digimon one, and I absolutely loved it. I hadn't had that much fun with a video game in years. The nostalgic feeling of running around the digital world, recruiting my Digimon and racing them to battle, the new mechanics that made it feel more fresh and modern, just enthralled me. It took me a month to 100% the game, something that I hadn't done in a very long time. And after I did, I felt realized, accomplished, and was comfortable to let the game go and ready to tackle a new one. Objectively, the game is okay at best. It was super grindy, the story wasn't anything to write home about, and the graphics were outdated even for when it was released. But it wasn't the game itself that made me enjoy it so much. It was how I approached it. I took my time, playing anywhere from an hour to at most 3 on the weekends. The game had some complex mechanics when it came to raising your Digimons, and instead of obsessing and trying to min-max my team, I just played along and allowed myself to make mistakes and actually learn from them, watching an occasional YouTube video for some tips along the way. It was my little side project, and after I beat the main story, I had to keep pushing for 100%. I didn't care that I hadn't even touched Resident Evil, or that Crimson Desert was just around the corner. I played for fun, took my time, and even took some days off because I was just too stressed to play. After that game, I realized that hardcore gaming wasn't the only way to enjoy games for me anymore. I realized that I can still enjoy video games. I had just forgotten how to. The enjoyment came back once I allowed myself to relax and fully let go, so that I could take in the world, the characters, and learn and experiment with the different mechanics. I wasn't competing against anyone. I wasn't trying to be the fastest or the most efficient. I was free. Realizing this might be hard for some of us, but I believe it's something most of us will have to do in order to mature and start giving video games, and many other things in life, a new meaning. Stop seeing your gaming sessions as catching up, and start cherishing them for what they are, a time when you can disconnect from life, relax, and have fun. Allow yourself to play how you want to play right now, not how people on the internet, or hell, even the developers tell you should play. Maybe you love exploring every side quest. Maybe you only care about the main story, or maybe you just want to drop the game after 2 hours because it simply isn't for you. They're all perfectly okay. Games are supposed to fit into your life, not the other way around. Of course, what's enjoyable for me might not be enjoyable for you. But if after your session you're feeling stressed out and frustrated that you couldn't play for as much as you wanted, or you couldn't climb through the ranks, or you couldn't get the items a YouTuber told you need in order to finally start having fun in a game, then maybe you're not really enjoying it. Maybe playing 2 or 3 ranked games of League of Legends, regardless of whether you win or not, is super enjoyable for you. And that's great. I, on the other hand, can't have fun in a ranked match of any game if I lose. So I'd rather just avoid them completely. And that's also fine. Stop playing for the sake of playing because it's your thing and because you have to, so that you can have an opinion on everything and not fall behind as a quote-unquote gamer. Start playing for yourself. Play whatever you want. Doesn't matter if it's old, new, good, or bad. So what if you can't reach the top of the leaderboards, or get every single collectible in Assassin's Creed, or get all the challenges in the Path of Exile season? If you enjoyed your time, that's the only thing that matters. I think part of growing older is realizing you might never experience games the same way you did when you were younger. Not because games got worse, but because nothing ever feels as infinite as it did when you were 16. Growing older as a gamer isn't about losing passion. It's about understanding that now it's a more conscious decision. It's about realizing that your time is more and more limited, and in turn, more valuable. So it's time to make the best of it. You don't love gaming less. You just love it differently now.